So imagine you worked your whole life to play football. You got to college. You want to go to college. You want to be a professional football player. You reach one of your goals by making it to college. You on a scholarship. And now you got to go back home with this realization that you lost your scholarship and that you lost everything. You see, sometimes in life, you so impatient, man, you will lose everything trying to force your hand. I was so impatient because I wasn't the guy yet. I wasn't playing. I wasn't starting yet. And because I was so impatient, I forced my hand. I tried to force my hand on my coach. I tried to force my attitude on my coach. I tried to, try to be something that I wasn't at that time. If I was patient, if I kept working hard, if I kept getting better, I could have been that guy. It could have been my opportunity, but it wasn't that my time yet. And see, a lot of times in life, we want it to be our time, y'all, but it's not our time. You're not prepared for that. It's not. Listen, one thing I learned about growing up was that God is an on-time God. God does not come when you want him. God is not your genie. God is an on-time God. God will come when it's the perfect right time that he has planned for you. And it wasn't my time. So check this out. I want to be the guy. I'm not the guy. I'm forcing my attitude. I'm forcing my hand. And then I lose my scholarship. So now I'm going back home. So now I'm back home, back to square one. And that's the thing that you got to understand. I believe I lost my scholarship at that opportunity because God was teaching me something. A lot of people go back home and they fall into the streets. They fall into gangs where I'm from. They fall into smoking dope. They fall into getting high. They fall into stealing. They go into crime. Because that's what's going on around young adults at that time. When you 18, 19, that's what they doing. So you can easily get caught up in their life. And a lot of people who get sent home, that's what they get caught up in. But when I got sent home, I believe that God was teaching me something and I was humbled and I learned. I was impatient with my life. I tried to force my hand. It didn't work out for me. I had an attitude and I lost everything. A lot of times we go through hard things in life and we never learn a lesson. And you got to realize, man, you got to learn, man. A lot of times, man, y'all keep getting in trouble. Y'all keep falling for the same tricks. Y'all keep falling for the same traps because you're not learning from your past situations. You got to learn from the things you've been going through. You got to learn from the things that hurt you in life. You got to learn and overcome those things so that you can become successful. So when I got sent home, I didn't fall into the same stupid stuff. I had to learn. And when I had to learn by humbling myself. I had to learn by realizing that, man, I got to change my life. So when I went back home, I was so blessed by God. When I lost my scholarship, I was blessed to get another scholarship to go play football. And that's what a lot of people don't know about my story. I was actually, after I lost my scholarship, I was blessed to get another scholarship to play football. And the thing about that, when I got that scholarship, when I walked into that team, I came in and I was the guy. So now I'm coming from a school where I wasn't the guy. I was trying to be the guy. I had to work hard. I had to develop, but I was impatient. They had a plan for me to be the guy, but they like, man, you impatient. You too impatient. You got to wait. I promise it's going to come. But I was so impatient. I forced my hand. I get kicked off the team. I go home. I humble myself. I learn. I work hard, and I get blessed. I get blessed with the opportunity. And when I get blessed with the opportunity, I walk into a situation where I'm the guy. And when I walked into the situation where I'm the guy, it wasn't easy being a guy, y'all. It wasn't easy when your coach putting all this pressure on you and you the guy. And when I was the guy that year, I had 3 concussions. I hurt my MCL and I popped my AC joint. So throughout that whole year, even though I'm hurt, even though I'm going through injury, my coach expected me to still be the guy. He expected me to make plays. He expected me to lead. He expected me to help win. And when I was going through all those injuries, I was fighting through them, but I wasn't the same player. And that's what you got to realize sometimes, that in life, when you go through things and you realize you get what you want, and it's like, I had to sit back and say, man, it ain't easy like I thought it was. It ain't easy fighting back from injury. It ain't easy having to learn all the plays and you telling everybody where to go. It ain't easy Man, your coach, he counting on you, and you can tell you might be letting your coach down, or he disappointed you trying to please your coach. Man, it's not easy being a guy. And a lot of us, we want that pressure, and then when we get it, we fold. Now, I say this. I played in all 10 games. I started in all 10 games. I made plays. I tried my best. But, man, I didn't do as good as I should have. That's because I wasn't prepared enough. And that was on me. Because I wanted to be the guy so bad, but it probably would have benefited me just to sit back and learn. But I was thrown in the fire. I was the guy. But I should have sat back and learned. See, at my first school, they wanted me to sit back and learn before I was the guy. But at this school, they needed me to be the guy right now. And I went and I was the guy, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it was. And so that's what I want y'all to understand in life. God will humble you. God will teach you. And you got to hear that, and you got to see that in your life, and you got to believe that that's what God is doing. And I'll never forget when I was going through that time of my life, that was the hardest time of my life. But man, I think that was the most valuable time of my life because it showed me who I was. It showed me how to persevere. It showed me how to get up when I got knocked down. And a lot of times when you go through things in life, you got to learn how to get up. You got to learn how to keep fighting and keep going. Because that's one thing that I learned. It's this walk in life, my walk with God, my walk in my faith, it's always been about perseverance and overcoming. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1, it says, count it all joy when you face trials and tribulations of many kinds. So I had to learn how to overcome things, and I had to learn how to be joyful in those moments of heartaches and those moments when I was going through the hardest times of my life. I had to find joy. And I'm telling you this story because I want to tell you that in your life, I want you to walk away with this from this story. Listen. I want you to have patience. Be patient and trust what God is doing in your life. Be patient that you just have to learn a little bit before you get to be the guy. Be patient at your job. Don't quit your job. Don't walk away. Don't be patient on that business you got. Don't walk away from that business. Be patient in that relationship that you're in. Be patient with your friends and families and loved ones. Be patient with your church. Be patient at school. Be patient with your teacher. I need you to be patient because God is teaching you something through patience. God is humbling you through patience. He's teaching you meekness. He's teaching you holiness through patience. He's teaching you a level of gentleness that you have to have through patience in order to really be successful. Because a lot of people want it so bad right now. We live in I call this a popcorn generation. You know how you put the popcorn in the microwave and you pop it for a minute and it's ready to eat? We want popcorn so bad. We live in a popcorn generation where we think, we're going to do a couple things and we just going to be on the mountaintop. No, man. You got to put that thing in. Listen, why you think on Thanksgiving your mama starved the night before? Gotta make the turkey in the oven, gotta let the turkey really cook and sit and put the right seed, because I promise you, that thing gotta cook. And a lot of times in life, we're not letting it cook. We just throwing it out there. Then when we eat it, we like, this ain't that good. We realize, man, I ain't let it cook long enough. And so what I want you to learn from my story, learn from my mistakes, learn from what I went through in my life so that you don't have to go through those same things. So that you know when it's time or adversity comes, you look it in the face and you're like, okay, I got to be patient. I got to trust the process. Right now, I'm not the guy. I got to learn. I got to get better. Because I promise you, when it's your time, man, it's going to be your time. And I promise you, you don't ever want to be in a situation where it's your time and you're not ready. That's the worst place to be in life. So you think being in the second position, third position, you think being in not the guy is the bad position. You think, I'm working hard, I'm climbing. No. The worst position to be in is when it's time for you to take the mic and you don't know what to say. It's time for you to come up with the report and you don't know what to give. It's time for you to be the man. It's time for you to be the guy. It's time for you to be the woman. It's time for you to step up. But you don't know what to do. Don't make the same mistakes I did. I hope you learn from me. I hope my generation learns from me. That's why I make these videos. I want y'all to learn from everything I went through because you don't got to go through the same things. The best way to learn, y'all, is to see somebody else fall so that you don't have to. When you ever seen somebody use the analogy, you touch a hot stove. If you touch that stove, you're going to burn your hand. But the way you should learn in life, watch your friend touch that stove and say, I seen what the stove did to his hand. I don't got to touch that stove. That's the best way to learn in life. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I really appreciate my community. Really appreciate my friends and family, my loved ones. Man, y'all mean everything to me. And y'all come to support me. And I just appreciate y'all so much. Christion Willett, the voice of my generation.